The Seattle Mariners just completed a 3-game set against a baseball team that is much improved from last season in the Oakland Athletics. Now they will take on another team that is much improved from last season in the Kansas City Royals. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome in to another series preview. The Seattle Mariners finish up their 6-game homestand with a 3-game set against the Kansas City Royals, and I am going to break down the upcoming series for you guys. Before I do, as always, do me a favor, smash the like button. And if you're new here or you're lurking, go ahead and please hit subscribe. I appreciate all the support as always. If you guys remember, the Seattle Mariners did win 6 out of 7 against the Royals last year. But boy, I think there was the one game where the Mariners hit 9 or 10 home runs. Other than that, every single game was a battle against these guys. Extra innings, late heroics, holding on for dear life with leads late in games. It was a battle to take on the Kansas City Royals, and they could not pitch to save their lives last year. Well, they have completely done a 180 as their pitching staff has been legitimately very good this year to go along with an offense that was already pesky last year. And has a few star players at the top that can do some damage against you. Overall, the Royals come with a record of 25-17 with a plus 49 run differential. They are in third place in a loaded AL Central. Funny enough, the AL Central is playing more like I expected the AL West to play this year, and the AL West is playing more like what I would have expected from the AL Central. Benefit to the Mariners there if they can hold on and win the division. For comparison, the Mariners are 22-19 with a plus 6 run differential on the season. Let's do a quick overview of the Kansas City Royals. They are 20th in baseball in WRC plus with a 96 WRC plus. The Mariners also have a 96 WRC plus. Very similar, getting some good production from some big players. But top to bottom, you do have some underperforming players as well. We will dive into that. Kansas City, though, is a very good base running team, so they're going to create runs on the base pass as well. So you got to be careful when they do get on, because they can steal some runs from you that way as well. They are 15th in home runs, 6th in stolen bases. For comparison, the Mariners are 11th in home runs, 17th in stolen bases. Pitching wise, the Royals are 10th in MLB and FIP at 3.78. Again, for comparison, the Mariners are at 4th at 3.55. The Royals are 16th in walks per 9. They are 3rd in home runs per 9, so they've done a good job keeping the ball in the ballpark. However, they are 28th in Ks per 9. So they are not striking out a ton of batters this year. Now, we can look at that two ways. That could be a good thing for the Mariners. That is a team that has had trouble with the strikeouts. It could also mean that the Royals are not only going to not walk too many guys keeping the yard, but they'll find a way to strike out Mariners hitters because the Mariners hitters strike out. So it's kind of like, which prophecy comes to fruition here? Is it the Royals not striking people out, or is it the Mariners striking out? But found that a little interesting with the Royals pitching staff, but it has performed very well. Now, we will not see Cole Reagans or Seth Lugo in this series. Lugo was a free agent signing. He's actually a guy, I don't think I ever did the video, because I was going to do a video talking about him maybe being a target for the Mariners, especially in the offseason when there was talks of trading Miller and trading Wu. But I think by the time I was going to make the video, he signed with Kansas City. He has been a great addition for the Kansas City Royals. The pitchers the Mariners will face in this series, game 1 will be Brady Singer. He will go up against George Kirby. Singer has pitched 45 and 2/3 innings this year, 3.40 FIP, 2.36 ERA, 46 strikeouts, 15 walks, fastball, slider, change. Brady Singer is a guy I have always liked, but he's just never really kind of put it together. Had some moments I remember one of the games last year against the Mariners, he pitched very well. I think he started 2 games. I think the second game the Mariners got to him a little bit. But the first game he pitched very well. That was the one time the Royals did beat the Mariners. The Mariners actually came back on the Royals bullpen, but Singer was fantastic, and he may be having a breakout year this year. He has been fantastic. Michael Wacha, one of their free agent signings, will go game 2 against Logan Gilbert. Wacha in 43 and 2/3 innings pitched this year. 5.15 ERA, but a 3.82 FIP, so he's pitching a little bit better than his ERA would indicate. 37 strikeouts, 15 walks, fastball, change, cutter, curve. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. listen, Walker's capable. I'd kind of maybe put him in like that Paul Blackburn category of, can he shut you down for 6 innings? Yeah, absolutely. He's also someone, though, that I think the Mariners can get to and get some runs against. Kind of your generic middle of the rotation guy. That's not a diss, because the Royals needed some middle of the rotation generic guys to get them going, essentially. And then Alec Marsh, former ASU alumni, or former ASU pitcher. I'm not positive alumni or not, doesn't matter. 70th pick in the 2019 draft. He's made his MLB debut this season. He's pitched in 32 innings, 3.41 FIP, 2.53 ERA, 24 strikeouts, 9 walks, fastball, slider, curve, and a changeup. So he has been impressive as well in his debut. So, remember last year the Mariners got to face Jordan Lyles a bunch of times, and he was running out like a 7 ERA without striking anybody out. So the Royals starting pitching has taken a big step forward. Now, again, as I've said in most series, I think the Mariners have the starting pitching matchup advantage in all three. I will take George Kirby over Brady Singer, although I will say I think if Singer is breaking out, that matchup is a lot more even than we may think it is. I'll take Logan Gilbert over Michael Wacha, and then the third game of the series will be, I'm assuming Brian Wu is penciled to start. I'm assuming he's going to make that start against Alec Marsh. Alec Marsh. So should be a pretty good and fun matchup in all three. Again, I'll take the Mariners 3. It's very rare that I'm not going to look at the starting pitching matchups and favor the Seattle Mariners, but the Royals starters are very solid and more than capable. Singer breaking out. Wacha is better than his numbers indicate, and Marsh looks like an exciting young pitcher for the Royals as well. The Royals bullpen is also much improved this season. If you remember, that was a huge bugaboo for them last year. Again, in those games against the Mariners, they had some leads late, and the Mariners were able to rally against a very poor Royals bullpen. I still don't think it's a great bullpen necessarily. Maybe some Royals fans can correct me, but it certainly appears to be much better. John Schreiber, who came over from the Red Sox, is running a .98 ERA. Angel Zerpa, 1.69. Chris Stratton's ERA is in the 4s, but he's been a solid reliever in his career. He's at the back end of that bullpen. Will Smith has struggled, but again, a solid lefty veteran that is, he's going to find a way to get some outs. So again, I don't think it's necessarily like a lights out bullpen. I don't see these names. Schreiber's ERA has been fantastic, .98, but I don't see these names and go, wow, there's no chance the Mariners are coming back. Quite like we talk about the back end of the A's bullpen, but it is certainly much improved at the back end for the Royals, and they are more than capable of keeping you down this year, where last year it felt like if they didn't have maybe a 10-run lead, that they were going to find a way to blow it. Let's look at the Royals offense a little bit. I already talked about 20th in baseball, 96 WRC plus, exact same as the Seattle Mariners. They are getting some solid offensive performances. The ageless Salvador Perez, a 160 WRC plus. Bobby Witt Jr., a superstar. Always fun when Bobby Witt Jr. and Julio are able to get together in a series. But Bobby Witt has been fantastic, a 154 WRC plus. Darian Blanco, in just 38 plate appearances, a 121 WRC plus. And Vinny Pasquantino, a 114 WRC plus. He's always been a favorite player of mine. I think there were some rumors that the Mariners did call about him in the offseason, or maybe it was it might have been an article or someone suggested it. I don't remember, but I've always liked Pasquantino. Pretty good player. Just like the Mariners, though, there are some guys underperforming in that lineup that are, holding the Royals back from really taking off offensively. MJ Melendez, a 72 WRC plus. Old friend Adam Frazier did have a big home run against the Angels on Friday, 67 WRC plus. Kyle Isbell, solid player, 63 WRC plus. And one of their big free agent signings, Hunter Renfroe, a 31 WRC plus. Going to be a tough test. Another team that I kind of thought I was going to look at and go, yeah, they're overperforming and they're probably not as good as their record. Again, I don't get to watch every team every day. So you look at the records and you kind of make assumptions in your head. But they're playing pretty well, and they've got some underperforming guys that should improve. Kind of similar to the Mariners. They've obviously been better record-wise so far this year. But, some underperforming offensive guys to go along with some real solid pitching that they've gotten in the rotation. Like I said, you're going to miss Lugo and Reagan, so you feel pretty good there. But Singer is solid. That is going to be a really, really tough test for the Mariners. And a Mariners offense that came alive a little bit in this, well, actually a lot of bit with Friday and Sunday. Saturday was a stinker, but better offensive performance this series against Oakland from the Mariners. So, you'd hope to really get it going, but it is going to be tough. Brady Singer is not a guy that the Mariners are likely to put up a ton of runs against. So you hope George Kirby's on his game. You can find a way to maybe win that one 3-2, 4-3. Walker's, I think, someone you can tag a little bit, but also has pitched better than his numbers. Like I said, I don't know much about Marsh, but he is off to an impressive start. So the Mariners are going to have their hands full offensively. I wouldn't look for a huge breakout with the bats here this series. Not saying it can't happen. Baseball's weird. But hopefully the pitching is on their game and the Mariners can find a way to scrap out a few runs and take this series. Royals just took 2 out of 3 from the Angels, and they're playing good baseball. They are much, much improved. Do I think the Mariners are the better ball club? I do, on the whole, think when it's all said and done, Mariners are a better team, but I've been legitimately impressed with this Royals team, and I would not be shocked if they're here to stay. I don't know what level. Are we talking, 92 to 95 wins? Are we talking more 85 to 88? That I don't know what we're going to see. But certainly much, much improved. I think they've almost won as many games as they did last year. I actually talked about it a couple times last year in post-game recaps that just watching the Royals play, I think even though I'm pretty sure they lost 100 games last year. You know what? Let's pull it up and check. Now I'm curious. Standings. Can we pull up 2023? Yes, we can. It doesn't matter, but I just want to pull it up for the sake of pulling it up. They lost 106 games last year. Wow, more than I thought. But I talked about it a couple times. I thought they were a team that the way they swung the bats, they didn't strike out a ton offensively. I thought they were a team that with a couple pitching additions could actually take a pretty big leap forward, especially in a division that looked winnable. Now, of course, the AL Central, like I said, is Cleveland's red hot, Minnesota's on fire, Detroit's much improved, Kansas City's great, the poor White Sox are struggling, but kind of what I thought I'd see from the AL West. The Angels around 500, the Mariners, Astros, and Rangers all battling, and the A's kind of in the White Sox position, but the divisions have sort of reversed themselves a little bit. So going to be a tough test. I absolutely think the Mariners can win the series. Again, I will never call for a sweep, especially here. Kansas City's playing really good ball. You got to hear what the series win. You've got to feel pretty good about it, and it would finish off a nice little homestand before you take a tough East Coast road trip. So a fun series. I say that now, and then when the Royals continue to be pesky, it won't be as fun. But it should be a good one, a good test. Possible playoff matchup, 2 teams that would be in the playoffs if they began today. So, and I will also, I want to add real quick, those WRC plus numbers are updated through yesterday. So both teams, I know the Royals won today. I'm not sure how they looked offensively. The Mariners number probably going to go up a little bit. So just take that with a grain of salt. That is likely not including today's game. I'm not sure exactly when Fangraphs updates their WRC plus totals. I imagine, though it's more of a daily thing. So the Mariners might be a little bit higher in that number, but you get the gist of the series preview. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the series. Hope you guys enjoy the previews. Hope the Mariners can take 2 out of 3 and continue their series wins and head on to an East Coast road trip feeling pretty good about themselves. So remember to drop a comment, hit that like button. It's free and easy, helps the channel. So is hitting subscribe and like, 2 free easy ways to help support my channel. I will see you guys all tomorrow night with the post-game recap. And as always, go Mariners. Peace.